Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I got them both behind me in the background. We do have two holidays right now. I myself do have a dinner to attend. Merry Christmas in a few hours, and therefore I wanted to bring you something here for Christmas. It'll be a Q&A with the audience. I will quickly glance at the price of Bitcoin, and I will comment on the whole YouTube banning situation. And after that, I do have Bitcoin Motorist, who you see in the live chat. He's on the stream as well. He's gonna filter your questions, and then he's gonna read them out. He will also prioritize those questions based on the relevance of the question, and also if you throw in a tipped question, that will also bump your priority up because we are still in a capitalist society, though we will see what YouTube has to say about that. All right, so let's begin with my quick comments on the YouTube situation and what is going on with that. So I believe in our last video, just before I went live, Bitcoin.com wrote that article about an Indian gentleman who is on a rampage about banning crypto YouTubers. That does not seem to be the case. Clearly, Bitcoin.com did not do enough research before putting out that article. I knew I shouldn't have gone to that website to read anything useful. So the whole thing seems to have started earlier this December. It has to do with two things that YouTube implemented simultaneously. One of them is the COPPA regulation on content to children, and the other one is their new harassment policy. It's really beginning to be hard to tell. I think if your video is being banned, and that's the thing, right? It's not like they're preventing people from watching it. They're actually deleting the video. They're deleting it. Now, that's a problem for someone like me that doesn't have any of his videos pre-saved. I don't. Again, I know I always use the excuse that I'm busy, but I'm busy. I live stream and the video stays on YouTube. I do not then go back and download the videos. So if my YouTube channel gets banned tomorrow, and I am prepared for my YouTube channel getting banned tomorrow, I will just go back to trading, okay? I will not have any of these videos. All of these videos will permanently disappear from, it's not even a bad thing. I really wouldn't mind. I mean, if YouTube wants to help me scrape Tone Vays' face and Tone Vays' content off the internet, that's fine. I'll move on and do something else. And then I don't have to worry about, Tone Vays did this and Tone Vays did that. But if YouTube does start deleting these videos, they will be gone forever. I will not have them. Okay, just a heads up. I don't have a master backup of all my videos. I'm installing a server now for my websites and stuff. We'll see if I'll even need that if there's no Tone Vays YouTube channel. I might go to Twitch. I might do the restream thing, and I'll stream to all platforms. There's always, look. If YouTube is doing it, all of the other websites will have to follow, right? They're all following the same regulation. They will all have to follow. If you think something like Steemit is going to help you, it won't. Steemit website is a centralized website. If the laws on protecting what children watch, if they call the Steemit headquarters, Steemit will have to do the same. There's nothing decentralized there, okay? Please don't recommend any other places to stream videos that have a shitcoin. I am not interested in helping scams. One of the reasons why my channel probably has not been hit yet is because this channel is anti-scams, not promoting them, okay? But YouTube may see it differently. So a couple of things. If your titles or your descriptions have anything that would encourage anyone under the age of 18 or 16, I'm not sure what YouTube considers a child. So anything tailored to that age is going to be a problem. Even if you say this isn't for children, but your content like insinuates that it is. I don't like when you say children, you're thinking people that are 9 years old. but I think the law defines children as either 16 or 18. It depends on what country you're in too. Like it's really insane. But yeah, so those are the laws, and we'll see what happens. I think I'm going to spend the next 24 to 48 hours going through every video I ever posted on this channel, looking at each one of them, their descriptions, their titles, and I'm going to see if I can edit them. Maybe I'll edit it in time. Maybe YouTube, I should be doing this now. I should have been doing it yesterday, and I have a dinner to go to. So maybe I'll do it tonight. I have all day tomorrow. I don't know. There's other things I should be doing, but this obviously came up. So there's a couple of videos. So I know Chris Dunn was one of the first to get hit, but then I saw someone point out how Chris Dunn had a video title, and I really like Chris Dunn and I like his work. But he had a video title that said, how teenagers can make money in the market. And that is going to be probably a huge red flag with the new COPA laws. And that could be why Chris Dunn was one of the first ones to get hit by having a bunch of his videos deleted. So it looks like that's what's going on. It doesn't seem to have much to do with some, but there's also the hate speech stuff, right? So, and you need to know what your videos are being banned for. So apparently, so I will have to be careful going forward. I may not be able to make my scam videos anymore because if I say something bad about someone, I call someone a scammer, that could possibly be perceived as harassment, even though they are a scammer. But if I call someone a scammer for being a scammer, that could be perceived as harassment, and that could get my YouTube channel shut down. So this could be the end of helping people mitigate scams, which again, I would like to focus on one thing. Right now, I have too many things. I have organized conferences, travel and speak. I do market videos. I do law shows. I do news shows. And I almost feel like if I get shut down from YouTube, I will just go back to trading. I mean, I still have some fans. Twitter's still around. Maybe I'll tweet out my trades. Maybe I'll start a Zoom group where people could, for a subscription, people can watch me trade live. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to rebuild 4 years of YouTube, right? Like that's not going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure Richard Harsh channel is there. Also keep in mind. So when you go to Ivan on Tech's channel, for example, you won't see anything there. But Ivan on Tech took it down himself. Ivan on Tech did not get hit by YouTube. I think several other YouTubers are taking the preemptive caution and turning all of their videos into private. That's not going to help. I actually put up a couple of videos that were private just for me. Like I made some like family portrait videos and I wanted my family members to see it before I like played that video in at like an event, at a personal event. And I put it on YouTube as private because I don't want anyone seeing my family pictures. And I had music in the background of that video. Like copyrighted music, because it wasn't going to be shown publicly. It was only going to be shown privately. And it was always a private video, and YouTube almost gave me a strike and they banned that video. And it was always private from the beginning. So setting your YouTube channel to private and putting your videos private, thinking that it's going to help you, it won't. They don't care. Like the YouTube admins, they can watch your videos, whether they're private or public. And they don't even care if these videos are public, private, or unlisted. It's irrelevant to them. It's what the content in that video. Because if they don't delete that video and strike you, you can make it public any moment. So it's completely, setting that channel to private will do absolutely nothing to prevent what YouTube is actually doing, okay? Oh yeah, maybe I'll start my travel channel. Maybe I'll go start my food channel. Or maybe I'll start from scratch. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Waiting on YouTube. It's just like I have over 1,000 videos on this channel, and going through them all and checking all of the descriptions and stuff. It could also be, the affiliate links, which I'll probably remove. I don't make much money from them anyway. I'll leave them on my website, but I'll probably remove everything from my descriptions. They'll just be blank or something. All right. Let's answer the price. Patrick, you with me?
I'm here. I'm just working on my pot roast here while I'm listening to you and reading the troll box comments. I saw a few good comments and questions in there already.
All right, awesome. So Patrick's putting together some questions for me. Meanwhile, oh, 1 second, I'm getting other messages. All right, let's have a quick peek at the price, and then I'll let Patrick pick out the better questions. Remember, guys, the tipped questions will, of course, be prioritized higher. I don't know how long this video is going to last, maybe an hour or so. So I'll try to answer your questions quickly. All right, tonevays.com. Of course, the conferences, the financial summit taking place in the Dominican Republic on the 19th to 25th of April, and the 1st to 7th of Bali. People are already registering. Please read every word of this description to make sure that this is an event for you. Here is Unconfiscatable, taking place in Las Vegas. This one only costs $250 to attend. Couldn't make it any cheaper. The speaker lineup is just absolutely sick. I mean, this is not an event you want to miss. All right, just saying. We are taking sponsors, by the way, guys. Keep in mind, sponsors are welcome. We already have a few sponsors here. Cryptocurrency Wire, probably many of you haven't heard of it. We have a coffee sponsor and Paxful, and I got a couple of calls coming up later this week with a few more sponsors. So last year's event was successful, and now we feel more comfortable by accepting sponsors. All right. And of course, if you want to support, check out the affiliate page. These links will no longer be in the video description going forward. I'm going to take them out. I don't want my YouTube channel banned, guys. I'd rather, demonetize everything and keep all the history of the videos. All right, let's look at the price real quick. I believe the price is dropping a bit. Oh, I don't like that font. Is this better? All right, here we go. Since I have the oscillators up, let's take a look at the oscillators. This is the daily chart. I really should, you know what? Let's start with the weekly. Let's do this the normal way. All right, come on, load. Doesn't want to load. All right, here we go. I'll go through the oscillators real quick. This is bearish. This becomes very bearish in the RSI. I would love to see the RSI go oversold. This becomes very bearish if the RSI closes at a brand new swing low. It's not going to be the yearly low. Well, it will be the yearly low because we have a week to go, right? So the year is going to start. So once we break this red line, Bitcoin is in trouble and probably going to go all the way to oversold. RSI favors the bears. Let's look at the MACD. The MACD certainly favors the bears, and it's crossing the zero line. For me, that is very, very bearish. Okay. It'll be very interesting if the MACD ends up going lower than the MACD back in February before it flips over. But right now, the MACD is bearish, a little bit divergence in the MACD histogram, not enough to write home about. So the MACD remains favoring the bears. The CMF clearly favoring the bears. Okay. Look at this. Look at the CMF here. Now, granted, we were consolidating at the bottom this whole time. We could be consolidating here, but at the moment, CMF certainly favoring the bears. Now, what about the price action? Do this. Let's do this, and let's do this. The price action on the weekly is totally neutral right now. Okay, the price action on the weekly chart was favoring the bears, while this candle was a red 5. Last week's candle. The candle not only closed as a green 1, it closed as a reversal candle, but it wasn't fully favoring the bulls yet. it was favoring the bulls early on in the week, very early in the week, when it was a green 2 above a green 1 after a reversal candle above the moving average. But right now, this candle is not favoring the bulls at all, but it's also not favoring the bears. It's a totally neutral candle. However, next week, if we have a red 2 going below a red 1, next week, going, I'm not sure where this red line will be next week, so I'm just gonna remove it for now, because I don't know what's gonna happen over the next 48 hours, right? So we'll wait. So right now, no matter what happens to this candle on a weekly scale, the sequential will tell you to be in cash and neutral, and but we're below a critical moving average, and therefore that favors the bears. The short-term moving average is declining. That's favoring the bears. We're below a decent Fibonacci line favoring the bears, but the long-term and intermediate-term moving averages, that's slightly favoring the bulls, but not enough to take on any bullish trades for me. So right now I am neutral, leaning bearish on the chart. Here we go. This is the daily chart. We have the RSI that is slightly favoring the bulls, to be honest with you. On a daily RSI, we had a lower, higher low, and then we made a higher swing high, though not as high as that. Okay, RSI slightly favoring the bulls. MACD also slightly favoring the bulls. CMF favoring the bears, but it is but less so every day, right? This is divergence within the CMF itself. The BitMEX funding rate, I believe this is slightly favoring the bulls. Okay, ever so slightly. And this BitMEX funding rate is slightly favoring the bears. So I have no idea which one's the right one. Let's look at the price action. The price action is on a green 8. It's going to be very challenging to get a green 9. To get a 9, you need to close. You need to swing and close above 7,500. Do I think Bitcoin will close above 7,500 by Sunday night? Maybe. Today is what? Wednesday? Today's only Wednesday. So, oh, I'm sorry. It has to do with tomorrow. My bad. So tomorrow we have to swing and close higher than 7,500. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't. We're below this red line, which was critical to me in the past. We're on a 12 of 13 sequential. So there is a 13 coming tomorrow. That could bounce the market a little bit. I don't know how critical these S13s are. And we did hit the next level of resistance and got rejected. And now, if we go any lower, the moment the sequential on the daily gives me a red 2 below a red 1, hopefully in a couple of days, that's a huge bearish sign. So look at all your moving averages. They're one lower than the other. They're all declining. The 200-day has now been declining for a month now. And this is bad. This is very, very bad. If I had to say it, just like the weekly chart, I am slightly bearish on a daily scale, a little more bearish on a daily scale than the weekly, but still ever slightly bearish. It's not screaming sell or short yet. It can still rebound, but it's on the edge of doing so. That's about it. I don't really care for the lower level time frames. I don't think there's anything interesting in them. I believe the stock markets are closed this week, and I still want to write up that article about my outlook for 2020. But considering I may have to manually look at every one of my 1,000+ YouTube videos, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. All right. All right, Patrick, what do you got for me? First question, fire away. I'm going to stop the screen share. Let me know if I say I'm looking at a chart and while I am not actually looking at the chart. Oh, Sonny's in the chat. Hey, Sonny. Professional courtesy. Read Sonny's questions first if you're there, Patrick.
Will do.
You there?
Yeah, I said will do. I don't know if you heard me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want me to read it out loud? Sorry.
Yeah, you got to read it out loud.
Okay, my bad. Okay, let me go to. Okay, Sonny says, I don't think this comes from YouTube. It looks like bots mass reported old videos. That's what Sonny said.
Right. But a bot, as far as I'm concerned, a bot reporting a video doesn't automatically ban your video. A bot reporting or it's reporting videos means that YouTube, someone at YouTube has to go and manually look at it and make a decision. Twitter does the same thing. So I've had a bunch of my tweets reported by, the XRP army, the Paycoin army. They've reported a lot of my, anti XRP tweets, anti TPay tweets, and then Twitter usually sends me a message saying this tweet was reported to be, malicious and bad. We investigated, and the tweet's fine. So when you write a bot that must happen all the freaking time, right? So if anything, YouTube has their own bots. So YouTube probably activated a bot that searches titles and descriptions, and they're like, hey, this one is no good. This one is targeting children, like what someone mentioned about a title from a Chris Dunn video that specifically mentioned teenagers, right? So if you have a title in your video that says teenagers, unless your channel is designed for children with children content, that could get your channel and that video in trouble, right? You're not supposed to target teenagers, especially with the word teenager in the title. So if YouTube activated a bot searching for this stuff, that bot will automatically delist your videos because YouTube wrote it. But I find it very hard to believe that someone writes a bot to mass report a bunch of videos and YouTube automatically removes deletes those videos. That's ridiculous. Then every single video on YouTube would be deleted by now. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out soon what's going on. Honestly, I do think this is gonna kind of blow over. I think YouTube is just going all out, especially in this holiday season, to kind of teach people a lesson, and then they're gonna hopefully ease up on this after people, clean up their acts. All right, next question.
All right, so McFly says, what do you think about Craig getting access to 1 million BTC?
I don't know anything about this, right? What does that mean, Craig getting access to 1 million BTC? He doesn't have access to 1 million BTC. Craig Wright doesn't have that kind of money. I don't think Craig Wright has all that much money. He says he does, but I don't think he does. I think Calvin Ayre is Craig Wright's financial backer, but I don't know. I'm just speculating here like everybody else. If Craig Wright had 1 million BTC, his coin wouldn't be crap. I
believe McFly is referring to the P script hash bug that BSV has, where if you have unmoved coins in a P script hash address, that they can be double spent for the replay attack on BSV.
Yeah, but it's not 1 million BTC; it's 1 million BSV, right? And it's not going to be 1 million BSV. I mean, it could be. I mean, he can get Satoshi's coins. It's 1 million BSV. So let me go to. So let me just do a quick calculator. Let me just. I'm not going to screen share. It's okay. So I'm going to CoinMarketCap. I just want to see what the price is of BSV, and the price of BSV is $86, right? So 86. So that's 86. Let's say he can get his hands. Let's say he can steal 1 million BSV, right? That means Craig Wright has access to $86 million, right? What is he going to do with that? Who is buying BSV? BSV has no freaking liquidity. You have to be a complete idiot. I got to be careful what I say now before this channel gets banned. You have to be a complete fill in your blank. I won't be able to curse anymore either. This is going to get bad.
Just silly. You have to be silly to buy BSV.
Right. You have to be silly. That's a good. Yeah. I don't know what the hell you have to be in order to buy BSV. So who the hell is Craig Wright gonna sell his 1 million BSV to? Who's gonna buy it? The moment he starts selling, he's gonna crash the price. If he crashes the price, who's gonna mine the damn thing, right? This is how shit coins die. This is how they die, right? Because one guy has 1 million coins and he's actually using them. A Bitcoin may survive if Satoshi comes back and all of a sudden you see him spending 1 million Bitcoin. That could have huge ramifications. Bitcoin price can crash 40, 50, 80% in a day if people see Satoshi spending his coins, because they're going to be like, holy shit, I want to sell now before he goes and sells 1 million coins. So what do you think is going to happen to BSV? The moment people actually realize that Craig Wright has 1 million BSV, anyone that's holding BSV is immediately going to dump it, and the value of his BSV goes to zero, right? I mean, that coin's price is going to zero. I don't know what the hell is holding it up. Who's going to buy the BSV from him? Like, what? Like, this is insane, right? So no, this doesn't concern me at all. Next question.
All right. This is a pretty good TA question. Dragon on crypto says, check out the 2-year MA has now acted 3 times perfectly as resistance, 730-day MA. Average momentum.
I don't know what 2-year MA means, right? If I go to a 2-year chart and I put in an MA value of,
I think it means a 730-day moving average, 730-day moving average. The average momentum of the past 2 years has started to slope downwards. So he's saying that it acted as resistance 3 times, that 2-year moving average.
All right, I'll entertain. All right, here's my daily chart. So it says the 2-year. So
yeah, he put 730-day, 730-day moving average.
All right, that will be the blue line. No, this is not interesting to me. Look, you can always come up with a moving average that is rejecting the price right now. But the question is, what has it done historically? Has it been useful historically? And it hasn't really, maybe a little. I mean, I guess, it crosses here. I'm not a huge fan of what happened over here, because half the time it's above and half the time it's below. Not a huge fan of what happened over here. Sure, it held it a couple of times, but nothing special. And it doesn't exist there. I mean, I can put it on BLX so that I have a further history, but I don't see it. It didn't do anything here. Just went straight through it. Like it has more instances of being useless than being useful, so I don't really care for it.
All right, I can shoot another question.
Yeah,
if you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Wook Chewy says, Tone, what is your price target for BTC if it closes a weekly candle below 4,200?
Below what price?
4200, 4,200.
Okay. Oh boy, 2,800. If Bitcoin closes below this green line, it should be at 4,200. If my memory serves me right. 4,100, close. If the price of Bitcoin on a weekly scale closes below this line, I would be expecting new lows with higher than 50% chance. The highest new low that is low, like the most optimistic low that is lower than 3,100 is 2,800. I believe 2,800 was the original low target of people like Murad, and I kind of agree with that. That seemed very reasonable at the time. This is before the low of 3,100 was made, that they were looking at that prediction, and that seems reasonable to me even now. So I wouldn't even say we need a close below 42. I mean, yeah, for a close below 45 would make me think that 2,800 is in the cards. Oh, we got our first tipped question. Let's go to that, Patrick.
All right, let's do it. Switching back to, oh, there it is. I think it's 4,000 rubles. What do you, so I can't read that, it's in Russian, but it says, what do you think when BTC?
Mine's in English.
It says Russian. Well, maybe we're looking at
the name.
Yeah, the name's in Russian. I was going to read the question, yeah.
Pieter. All right, go on.
Okay. What do you think when BTC trend will change to bullish before or after halving?
Oh, very good question. Very good question. In my opinion, I mean, it depends on like we could already be in a bullish trend change. I just need a new high. Honestly, I think it will be, look, here's the thing, right? The confirmation of a trend change will come after the halving. But confirmation of a trend change is not the trend change, right? So you just need confirmation of the trend change. It's very possible, in fact, it's pretty likely that the trend change has already occurred. That, I mean, if we go to the 200-week moving average, which you see on my screen, if we go to this 200-week moving average and we bounce off of, say, 5,000, right? And we bounce off of 5,000 before the halving. And then I will still need confirmation of that trend change. And that only comes with a new high, which means we have to go above 14,000. That may not even happen until 2021. But the trend has already changed, right? It's very possible that the trend has actually changed with the low back in 2018. We just don't know it yet, right? So I don't believe I will be a bull before the halving. Let's put it that way. But just because I become a bull late doesn't mean that the trend hasn't already changed. I just think I just can't see myself becoming a bull pre-halving. It's difficult because I'm still waiting for my secondary low. And I still think it's possible for that secondary low to be the primary low, which means it's going lower than 3,100. I think it's possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. So the trend could have already changed. We just don't know. It's kind of like when the government tells you that we have a recession, the recession usually starts like 6 months earlier or even a year earlier. They just don't know, right? And so many people have predicted that we're already in a recession for like the last 5 years, and they've all been clearly wrong. So I would rather not have these false alarms and be, 4 to 6 months late in identifying that we're in a recession, and then, going backwards in history, because history is always 2020, go backwards in history and find out when did the recession start. But at the time that it starts, you don't know that you're in a recession. So there you go. So it's a complicated answer, but it's a hard question. Next.
We got another tipped question. So this is from Breezy B. I believe that's $10 Australian. He says, time is ticking. Your channel is literally the only crypto-related channel left now after the YouTube cleanup. Did you get any warning strikes in the past days?
I've gotten warnings before. I've never gotten strikes. I've gotten warnings for like copyright stuff. You play some music in the background and you kind of screwed. But yeah. So there's two reasons why. First of all, I'm not scared. If YouTube shuts me down, I have other ways to make money. One of them being trading. A lot of other YouTubers are preemptively taking down their own channels. Like Ivan on Tech, for example, and I think Data Dash took down his whole channel. I don't think YouTube took down Data Dash, though I don't know. I just know for a fact that Ivan on Tech took down his own channel and set it to private. Now, I don't think that's going to help him. If YouTube decides that his videos are no good, whether it's a private or public, it's irrelevant. They're going to delete them, okay? But Ivan on Tech preemptively took down his own channel, trying to figure out, what's going on. Data Dash probably did the same thing. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try and spend this entire night going through all my videos and all their descriptions. I know you can have something like TubeBuddy that can mass update all of your descriptions, but I don't want to update all my, because I have so many different shows, right? Like the crypto scam shows and the law shows. Each law show has like 40 or 50 links to news articles. Each Bitcoin Daily show, each news show has links to all of those articles that we talk about. I don't want to delete all that. You know, if YouTube is going to delete my video, fine. They deleted the video. It's gone forever. They can wipe me off the internet. I'll probably have more peace of mind, right? If I no longer have internet access, I'll, go do something else. I'll find something to do. Guys, my first job, I was 10 years old. I was washing cars on street corners, okay? You know how you pull up to a red light and it's usually a homeless guy tries to wash your window? That was me when I was 10. That was my first job. There's like one picture of it. Maybe I'll release it one day. There's one picture somebody took of me doing that when I was 10 years old, okay? Like running out in the middle of traffic. You did that today, like, damn, your parents will be arrested in the US and mostly anywhere in Europe or Australia or Canada. Like your parents will probably be arrested and you're going to be sent away, by Child Protective Services, right? But that's what we did back then, that's what I did back then. And then my second job was when I was 13 or 14, again, working illegally because it was illegal to work at that age. The legal age is like 16 or something. And I was working illegally from like 12 to 13, washing dishes and sweeping floors at an ice cream shop. And then I worked all through high school, and then in college I had 2 jobs, right? So I'm grew up poor. I'm used to finding something else to do and working. Like it's not new to me. So I'm not scared. So I'm keeping my channel going, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I got some bad news for you regarding if YouTube wipes you off the internet, that you can just disappear. There's a guy in the chat named Bron Kine. He says, I am backing up all your vids, Tone. In case shit happens, hit me up. So you've already been saved for posterity. So there's no wiping you. People have already backed up your shit. So.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll put them somewhere. I don't know how good of a quality you can get them. Yeah, but yeah, I got to look into it. I really should be back. I'm supposed to get a server for my website. Then I'll have plenty of space and I can store all my content there. I'll tell my web developer usually watches these. So once the server is set up, I'll give him like, I don't know, maybe admin access to my YouTube, and maybe he can like write a script and like download it all on there in like top quality. All right, what else we got?
All right, so Celebrity 152 says, Tone, regarding Lightning, now that the halving is near and Lightning does take fees from miners, do you see this as a way to push the price up? Miners will make less in fees, so they need a higher price.
No, I don't. I don't think miners have that much control over the price of Bitcoin. I think miners and hash power, they follow price, not the other way around. Price doesn't follow that. So if miners are making less money, that just means, mining will be slightly more niche and slightly more professionalized and obviously slightly more centralized. It's just the way it is. So if Lightning starts cutting into mining profits, which I don't think that they will, because right now transactions are very, very cheap anyway. You can send your transactions with a few cents and miner fee, and it will get through very, very quickly. Like I've said it on a show with Jimmy the other day, the reason why my Lightning game is terrible and I don't really use Lightning is because Bitcoin transactions are cheap, they are fast, and they are and they're if you know what you're doing, they can be pretty private. So, but no, I don't think miners have a say in the price of Bitcoin. I don't think that's how it works. All right, next question. We got another tip. Let's do it.
Yeah, we got a quick question. Sorry, I'm kind of foolish. I don't know if this is €5 or £5 sterling, but it's
no,
5.
euro. It's the euro. Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to announce the amounts, Patrick.
Adrian Adronche says, draw a straight line from ATH to 14K and beyond. If we cross this line, would you say the higher low is in?
You mean a lower low?
I guess he put higher low in. No, he definitely. I think he definitely meant higher low because of. I mean, the way he put it in quotation marks, it kind of is like an oxymoron. But
all right, let me try to do that. I'll use the weekly chart. So that's the all-time high. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. I see what he means now. I see what he means. So it's a little tricky on drawing this line because drawing trend lines is subjective. So I prefer to use the best fit line, the line that touches the maximum amount of candles without crossing their bodies. That is the tone-based rule on trend lines. Now, the starting point could be the wick or could be the body. It doesn't make much of a difference. I'm going to go most conservative. I'm going to use the body. I'm going to use body to body crossing a bunch of shadows. So what he's actually asking is, if we cross this line to the upside, is the secondary low in? And I will say, yes, it is. If we can cross that line, then it's in, because why am I saying that? Let's start with the fact that what happens if we cross this line this week? If we cross this line this week, we are above 10,000. We are above that swing high. That is clearly good enough for me. Now, we do have to close above it and spend an entire candle above it as well, okay? Also, if we do this in March, that's very close to the halving. And now we're also above, we're closing above the trend line and the Fibonacci line. That's good enough as well, okay? As we go further out, if we cross this line in September of next year, we're also above a Fibonacci line, and it's only at 8,400. But if it takes us until August to get there, that means we've either made a serious swing low or we've consolidated for almost a year. That's also good enough for me, okay? So the answer to your question is absolutely. If we can get to above this downward sloping trend line, I will be a bull. Hopefully, I will be a bull earlier than crossing this trend line. But yeah, crossing this trend line is enough. At this point, I do not need the break of 14,000. I do not need the break of 12,000. That's way too late to become a bull. Some people think it's way too late already to become a bull, but it's not. And therefore, I do think that crossing this line that you see in the screen is enough to announce the next bull run is here. But once again, I think Bitcoin is going to struggle to cross this line. When do I think Bitcoin will cross this line? No earlier than the halving, and no later than March 2021, right? So somewhere between the 38% Fibonacci line. I don't think we're going to cross this line before this Fibonacci line, and I don't believe we're going to cross it after. I know this is a wide range, so somewhere between 7,200 and 9,700, and sometime between March of next year and March of the following year. That's a year, guys. That's a rough line. I think Bitcoin will struggle to break that line, and when it finally does, we have our next bull market. Personally, I feel this line will be crossed later than sooner, but once it crosses, I'll be a bull hopefully no later than the cross of that line. That's a good question. I love the tip questions, guys. And this continues to show that, people, people don't really respect free content as much as they love paid content.
All right. I'm just I'm gonna ask these two. I mean, they're not really questions, they're just suggestions, but I'm gonna put them together because they're kind of along the same line. Flux29 says you should remove referral links, and Sankt Gallus says try to set an age limit. I don't know if either of those things will make much of a difference, but it may be related to, I don't know, either shilling or age limit stuff.
So I am within the FTC or FCT guidelines. So on my website, when you click on any referral link, it does give you a pop-up warning message that Tone Vays is potentially profiting from this link. And then also it warns you how dangerous trading is. And I'll talk to my web developers about adding, mentioning that this is for adults. But this is also why I think that having unregulated exchanges is bad, right? This has always been my thing. 12-year-olds trading Ripple. Like, I don't understand why they're not coming down. Like, hey, just go knock on the door. There's an office. There's a CEO. Just knock on the Ripple door and go, hey, Mr. Ripple CEO, you are fully aware that there are 12-year-olds trading Ripple token on unregulated exchanges. What is his answer to that going to be? Is he going to say, I am not aware of this? And if he says, I'm not aware of it, well, here, take a look at this exchange and this exchange and this exchange, and they are trading the Ripple tokens, and there are 12-year-olds trading them. What do you want to do about it? Because he can't say, I can't do anything about it, because he certainly can do anything he wants. They can just destroy the Ripple token. They can just burn it. They have 100% control of the Ripple token, right? So they can also, the exchange itself may be hard. They may not be a door to knock on. You can run an exchange. You have to go to the ISP. You got to shut that down, right? But all of this shit is centralized. Like, there's no door to knock on saying, hey, we don't want this guy trading Bitcoin with that guy, sending it to them. And they're like, well, good luck finding a door to stop that. You can't, right? But you can certainly stop the shitcoin trading on unregulated exchanges. Either the exchange is going to start doing full KYC, or the token owner itself would have to destroy the coin. Okay.
All right. So some positive things from people saying this is an interesting suggestion from Duke Max, because I do think that YouTube does look at the title more than the actual content. So Duke Max says, don't stop calling people scammer, just don't put it in the title. And I think there may be something to that. Michael says, do a stock trading channel. And then Mark Pieria says, a Zoom Tone Trade live subscription is the best idea.
I'm sorry, read that last one again.
So Mark Perea says Zoom Tone Trade live subscription is the best idea. So I guess like a Zoom channel where
that's something I was thinking of doing as well. That's an option. And and the traditional stocks, and like get out of the crypto space and just do a stock trading channel. Well, I can always mention Bitcoin in terms of GBTC or CME futures, right? Because then it's just another regulated asset.
Mm-hmm. And along those same lines, especially regarding what Ivan on Tech did, Jaw709 says being forced to self-censor is arguably even worse because it's pervasive sentiment instead of identifiable culprits. So I know these aren't questions, but these are some really good comments. I wanted to make sure that I got out there. So. Yeah.
All right, so let's go. A few more questions.
Yep. Okay. So just going through the list here. Shruta Gupta says, "What do you think the price of Bitcoin will be by the end of 2020?"
Oh, by the end of 2020, I should probably save this for my write-up. I mean to write up a blog post about what do I think. I think it will be in the vicinity of $10,000, which means a little bit under, a little bit over, but nothing crazy.
And Dan Brister says, do you think you will make a living trading? And I think you've already answered that question.
I am very, very confident I will make a living trading.
Tooth Chaucet says, with full intention of keeping all tax laws, I'd like to privatize the Bitcoins I bought on Coinbase. For privacy, what steps must I take to remove my coins from prying eyes?
Probably not something I should talk about. Speaking of YouTube bans, probably not something I should talk about. If you go to, I'm sure Bitcoin.org has lots of suggestions on, how to protect your privacy. Also, I think the Electronic Frontier Foundation probably has a lot of useful stuff to protect your privacy, and maybe Bitcoin stuff's there. So yeah. Also, if you have enough Bitcoin that you want to protect and make them private, the place where you want to be is the Understanding Bitcoin conference. Okay, in Malta. That's where you want to be. It'll be another cheap conference. It'll probably be $400 or $500 to attend. It's the one put on by myself, Adam Back, and Giacomo Zucco. We had a big focus on this at last year's event. This year's event will be at the end of May. It'll be like a week or two after consensus, May 28th to 31st. We'll start promoting it soon. That's where you want to be. We're going to have panels on this, and there'll be people, professionals that you can talk to there that will help you set it up. That's the point of that event. That's where you want to go. All right, next.
Juggy says, Tone Vays, is the daily 9 coming up one to worry about, or will this likely be ignored?
I don't think it'll happen. I mentioned it earlier today. We're looking at the daily. This is the weekly chart, right? I don't think the 9's coming because in order for us to get a 9, we need the price of Bitcoin needs to be above 7,500 by tomorrow night, and there's only like a little 30 hours to go. So the price of Bitcoin would need to pump to above 7,500. And we pumped a little bit. We're doing better right now. It's possible. I don't think the daily 9 is something to really worry about because we've already turned off the 6. So we'll look at it tomorrow. I think it's very unlikely we will even have a 9. Even less likely it will close on a 9. The 9. The 9s to care about are the 9s that are ending a trend. The trend seems to have, on a daily scale, seems to have ended 2 days ago. So this 9 becomes kind of meaningless. Next.
So the club says ETH turning to proof of stake. Will that affect SEC decision on security status?
You know what? SEC is so clueless when it comes to what Ethereum is. Their understanding of Ethereum is, I can't even say certain words, backwards. I don't think Ethereum will ever go to proof of stake. I don't think they can. If they do, they will hard fork once again. There will be an Ethereum, there will be an ETH, and there will be an ETW. I'm coining the term ETW. If I had more free time on my hands, I would lead the charge to create an ETW, and I would be the sole leader of ETW, the way Craig Wright is the leader of BSV and Roger Ver is the leader of BCH, and Richard Hart is the leader of the Hex scam, and on and on and on and on. And I will be the leader of ETH, and I will convince every single ICO to stay with ETH, the original, Vitalik's vision, and how the miner chain is safer than the stake chain, right? That's what's going to happen. Ethereum is totally screwed. So there you go. And it's the way Barry Silbert, is the leader of the ETC chain. I would be the leader of the ETW chain. Ethereum work. W stands for work. Okay, because proof of stake is nonsense. It's nonsense. It's SQL. It's worse than SQL. It's SQL with all of the disadvantages of decentralization. Check out TD on the CME futures. I actually want to do that. Read your next question while I pull that up.
Oh, I think this is mostly a scam question, but I'm going to read it without mentioning the person or or what they mentioned. But they said, what do you think of non-custodial exchanges? I just want to get that question out there.
No, that's a good question. So the one non-custodial exchange I actually like is I speak at their conference, and that's the HODL exchange, right? So non-custodial exchange doesn't mean a decentralized exchange. I think a decentralized exchange is nonsense. I think a non-custodial exchange is legit. This is where the exchange is like a BitGo, right? Like the exchange holds one key, and the other two parties hold one key each. So the exchange does not have the ability to seize your funds. The exchange does not have the ability to confiscate your funds. The exchange does not have the ability to prevent you from trading that Bitcoin with another person on the exchange. Only when the two parties disagree, only when one guy says, I don't want to give you my Bitcoin because I don't want to, then the exchange gets involved and they decide who is right, and then their key and the party that is right move the coins. So I like the non-custodial exchange option because it certainly prevents hacks internal to the exchange or external of the exchange. So I love the non-custodial exchange idea, but the non-custodial exchange has to admit that they are still a centralized platform. Will the regulation allow them to be this way? We'll find out. But the concept certainly removes the, and this could be audited, this could be open source, and this concept removes exchange risk from the crypto space. It's absolutely necessary, but it's not decentralized, and HODL exchange will be the first to admit that they are not decentralized. But that's what they're trying to do. I still want to pull up the futures and look at it on TV. Give me a second. Chart layout. I don't know if I have it. CME Bitcoin index. Nice. Oh, that's the index. I don't want the index. I want the future. So, you know what? I'm going to go to the CME Bitcoin index. I'm going to save it as a new chart, and I'll do the CME futures. CME Bitcoin futures. Oh, wow, this is old. Oh, I wish I could see when I put it up. I've looked at this in years. What's
hey, Tony, your audio is pretty bad on the stream and through Zoom as well. You're crackling a lot. I don't know if there's something wrong with your mic.
Yeah.
All right, guys, keep asking your questions. And if you tag me at Bitcoin Motorist in the chat, I can see it a lot easier, so I can either read it out loud or send it to him. I think Tone is just replacing his mic, so I think we're fine. He just in the meantime, I see some questions in there.
No.
You're still crackling a little bit. Say something else.
Mic check. Mic check.
I think you're good now.
Am I better now?
Yeah.
Am I a little bit better now?
Yes. Hold on.
Oh,
yeah.
wait. I'm on the wrong speaker at the moment. I'm on a shittier speaker, but now I'm on the Yeti. Okay. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's try it from here. So I don't know what ticker this was, but it's not working. CBOE doesn't exist anymore. No wonder. So let me go to Bitcoin, and I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna spell that right. Bitcoin, and then I gotta go to futures, and there it is. And we're gonna pull up the latest contract, and there we go. There's the data. X that, X that. Do I have a template? Income statement. What the hell is that? Oh, just don't put it to a black background, please. Okay, good. There we go. Almost there. Appearance, I want to drop the grid lines. I got to put this into a template. Okay, and now I need to switch to hollow candles. Okay, and I have, let me get my latest sequential. I think that was it, but I wasn't 100% sure. Favorites. I think it's, no. Crap. Oh, my scripts. Here we go. TI sequential, that one. I think that's my latest. Yeah, so this doesn't have weekend data. That's why it has all these gaps. While it's still cranking, let me do this real quick. Bottom to dark green. There we go, and apply that, and apply that. All right, here we go. It's not, nothing's interesting. What was the question?
Sorry, I was muted.
Right.
John 709 says, do you think there are any tax reasons in play for price suppression before the new year? For example, people who bought the bottom last year can now sell for capital gains rate instead of income tax?
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Because if you bought the bottom at the end of last year or at the beginning of this year, I mean, look, not many people bought the bottom, right? If you got in on this bull run and you've waited this long, you might as well wait a little bit longer, because then it moves from short-term capital gains to long-term capital gains, which is a lot less tax burden. So I don't believe people are selling for tax reasons, because you're already up. No matter when you bought Bitcoin in the first half of the year, you are up. Now, if you bought Bitcoin in the second half of the year, you may want to sell and take the loss. But if you bought Bitcoin in the first half of the year, you're better off waiting through the halving, because then you're going to pass that 1 year length, and it's long-term capital gains instead of short-term gains. So it really depends on when you bought it. And certainly more people bought it on the way up than bought it on the way down. And if you bought it on the way down, you're also better off, like, you know, holding it a little bit longer at this point. So I don't think that's the reason.
Okay,
Next.
so okay, got it. Mojave TV said, where do you put the odds that Bitcoin will succeed over the long term, 5 to 10 years? And where do you see it in the long term future? And Merry Christmas.
So very high, 5 to 10 years for Bitcoin, very high. We're talking 90+%. I believe Bitcoin will succeed 5 to 10 years down the line. If you ask me 20 years, less certain. 5 to 10 years, I'm pretty certain it will be here. 20 years from now is 30 years of Bitcoin. At that point, there could be something new coming out, right? But probably I'll still be like 75% confident. If we're talking 50 years out, we'll see. Okay. I think for the next 5 to 10 years, I'm pretty certain personally that Bitcoin will be with us and thriving very nicely, by the way. What was the second half of the question?
Let me see this. Oh, he just says long-term future, which you already answered, and then
Yeah.
you said Merry Christmas. So that's it. Yeah.
I think Bitcoin will be the global currency of the world that no one controls, and it's politically neutral. All right, here's the weekly. The weekly is still on a red 6. Interesting. So the weekly CMF looks very different than the weekly spot. And the weekly CMF could get you to a 9. Interesting. I like it. I should keep an eye on it. Let me rename this chart. CME Bitcoin. All right, next.
All righty, next question. Okay, so I know you really like Tesla, Tone, and I guess this is one of the issues where I disagree with you. I don't think Tesla is a good company, but we disagree on that. But
Is that Patrick? Is that you talking, or is that the question?
That's me. Me personally on Tesla, as I don't like Tesla. I know you like Tesla, but the reason why I'm going to ask this question is because it's Tesla related. It's by R Bone, which is Tone. What are your thoughts on the Cybertruck?
Oh, I think it looks hideous. I think it looks hideous.
I agree.
But I know people that are buying it, and they also think it looks hideous. So what does that tell you, right? I mean, that tells me a lot. Here's what it tells me. It tells me no matter how much people hate your product, they will still buy it. So do they really hate your product? That tells me, that makes me more bullish on Tesla than anything else. Okay? The fact that there are people that hate it, but still want it. Okay? That makes me very, very bullish. That's my thoughts on the truck. So Patrick, why don't you like Tesla? What's wrong?
Well, I think that he when he started his company, he hired a whole bunch of people who were automotive people who worked in car companies before, and most of those people quit pretty early on because they figured out that he doesn't know what he's doing. So he's basically just winging this company. He doesn't know how to run a car company. Elon Musk, I'm talking about. He doesn't really know how to run a car company, and it's basically it's gonna keep going until Toyota or Nissan or one of these companies just adopts all his technology. So if he comes up with something that's really innovative, kind of like a GoPro situation, these big car companies are just going to adopt it. And if it's not, if it's not sustainable, then they won't adopt it. And Tesla will have to, go on government handouts to survive. That's why I disagree with you on Tesla.
I don't see Tesla as a car company. I actually see Tesla as a technology company. A self-driving car is almost not even a car, right? It's a machine. It's a robot. I think his ultimate goal is to just create self-driving cars, and they won't have a steering wheel. They won't have pedals. They will look nothing like our regular cars. It's literally like a couch driving down the street.
I mean, I don't mind that. I'm a motorist by nature, but I honestly I'm not against the self-driving cars. But I think that there's a lot of issues that are not easily solvable before we get there. All right, so KC asks, Tone, do you believe in the 4-year cycles and the stock to flow model? And do you believe we could hit 100K in December of 2021?
I think we could hit 100K December 2021. I'm not planning for that. I think that's way too optimistic for me personally. So I think it's possible. I mean, I haven't paid too much attention to the stock to flow model. I mean, we all know that Bitcoin has a very high stock to flow ratio, but I don't think that drives the price, especially in the short term. In the short term, you can have wild swings in both directions. So I've actually just had a little Twitter discussion with Plan B, and we talked about the option pricing model. I'm an options trader. The option pricing model was designed to price an option, but the option price is determined by the free market. But the option pricing model is still very useful because you can plug that price in and determine the implied volatility of the asset. And that's very, very important to me. So I wouldn't use that model to predict future prices because they can swing wildly before and after. But it's a decent general observation. I think it's reasonable. I think 100K is more likely, you know, in that 2023 area, not 2021, but you never know.
All right, I have a question here, but I don't know if I should ask it or not because I'm not sure if this is a shit coin or not.
Just don't name any shit coins.
Okay, I don't know if this is a shit coin or not, but it says thoughts on the continuing decline in the price of some ticker. I'm not sure.
Oh,
As a
that's not it. Oh, there is unfolding drama in the USD UAH.
Okay.
Is that the one?
No, it's actually, I'm just going to Google it real quick. Well, I'll ask another question. We can come back to it.
Wow. Wow. This is
you think?
this is great for Ukraine.
Okay.
Their currency is strengthening. Oh, there go my cheap nights out in Kiev. I mean, look, Ukraine's one of my favorite countries, guys. And Ukraine's one of my favorite countries. I'm happy when their economy is doing well. And it looks like their economy is doing well. Oh, I'm not using my latest sequential here. Or maybe I am. That's way too many 13s. That doesn't seem right. Hold on. This is why I'm still testing the new version of the indicator. Let me put this in. I think my dev usually watches this, so he'll see it. Interesting. So this, oh no, that's correct. It's correct. This 9 is leading to this, this, and this, and then this 9 led to this, this, and this perfectly. I don't know what drama you're talking about, but the daily chart of the Ukrainian hryvnia looks pretty damn bullish, and there's another 9 coming, so maybe that's when it'll end. All right. Next.
Just Faisal says, as someone new to the stock market, what's the best way to navigate a recession?
Learn how to short or use short ETFs or stay in cash. That's really the best way. It'll be hard for the bond markets to rise because the interest rates are already so low. Let's send a quick message. But yeah, so the best way to navigate the recession is I use TA and you spot when the markets start to go down, and then you either stay in cash and stay out of it, or try to profit from buying short ETFs. That's the best way. All right, hey guys, I got a little bit more time left. I gotta head out to dinner myself, and yeah, no more charts. Any other questions? Oh, I see a question. Will Bitcoin crash or double in price after the halving? It's too early to tell. The halving is still ages away. The halving is a good 5 months away. And in the Bitcoin world, that's years. It's like dog years. So it's too early to tell. It's way too early to tell. So we have to wait at least a couple of more months before we can even come close to identifying how Bitcoin is going to react during the halving. We can still have a pre-halving pump and post-halving dump, or Bitcoin can keep dumping into the halving. People panic for a day or two after the halving, the way they panicked with the stock market as the Trump got elected, and then all of a sudden the bull market began. So it's too early to tell. We have to see where the price of Bitcoin is a month or at least 6 weeks before the halving. All right. Anything else, Patrick?
I don't see like any really earth-shattering questions, but if you want more questions, I can probably give them to you.
No. I got plenty of work to do. I got 1,000 videos that I need to, edit by hand. So that's how I'm spending most of my Christmas after a dinner that, thank God, is not that far.
Hey guys, don't forget to hit the like button for Tone streaming on Christmas. Don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah, guys, I got thank you for your tips. Thank you for your donations as well. Hey guys, I may have to start shilling less, but hey, check out the affiliate page on tonevays.com because they won't be in video descriptions no more, and because of all this stuff. So check it out on tonevays.com. When you click on these things, right? Like for example, when you click on eToro, it will take you to a pop-up site. I hope, thank God. There it is. Boom. There you are. All these warnings in compliance with the laws and regulations. I should probably put in an age restriction here as well. We'll add one more. And then you choose, are you from a U.S. territory? And it will take you to the U.S. compliant eToro. I am not from a U.S. territory. It will take you to the non-U.S. compliant eToro. Still compliant with eToro, right? So there you go. All of your warnings, all your notifications, they're right there. I try to be a law-abiding citizen, so there you go. All right, so you can go ahead and do that. Hey, check out the conferences. This is the Financial Summit, amazing event for successful traders. And we just came back from the Dominican Republic looking at some amazing venues. And of course, here we are in Las Vegas for Unconfiscatable. And for the person that asked the question about using Bitcoin, what you want to go to is check out the videos from last time. Understanding Bitcoin conference, also an amazing conference. Understanding Bitcoin. We have all the videos from last year on the Understanding Bitcoin channel. Hope that one doesn't get banned, but at least, yeah, you know what, man. These live streams might also disappear forever. They're not backed up. I just realized they were live streamed on Tone Vays channel, and then they were posted to the Understanding Bitcoin channel. But I don't have these 8-hour videos in my laptop. My laptop doesn't have that kind of hard drive space. So this is day 1. This is day 2. This is amazing content. Hope it doesn't get lost forever because of YouTube. But that it is what it is. I'll talk to my web developer at least. Downloading I should probably do it myself. I'll probably start downloading a lot of this stuff. Maybe I'll do it. I have an external few terabyte hard drive somewhere. Maybe I'll just start downloading it to that, and I'll do it that way. I'll think of just more work. I got to go through every single video. It's insane. But yeah, check it out. Check that one out as well. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you for spending your Christmas or Hanukkah with me on this channel. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all on the next one. Thanks, Patrick, for doing the Q&A. And thank you, everyone else that helped me throughout the year, by the way. Thank you so much. Lots of people have helped organize the conferences, setting up workshops. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for supporting my work. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for watching me this entire year. I will bring you some more content next week, but we'll see. I'm thinking maybe I'll take some time off or something. I can kind of take it day by day these days. All right. Talk to you all on the next one. Thanks, guys.